Hi everyone, thanks for joining me again at Orange County National. Today we're going to take another look at getting open at impact. However, this time I want to put the focus on a ribcage feel. The reason I want to do this is because moving down into the shot, once the pelvis gets into a certain position and it's hit peak speed and started to decelerate, the ribcage actually then speeds up, and then the ribcage actually helps us to get round the corner, as some people call it, or get open at impact and into that nice delivery position. So some of the stuff I'm going to talk about here in the transition phase with the ribcage really relates back to the ribcage focus in the early extension video. So there's another video that you could potentially look at if you're interested in how the upper body, or the ribcage specifically, could move transition into downswing. So just to recap, transition into downswing, what I'm looking for in the ribcage is a little bit of flexion at the spine. So you can see the spine, upper back is, thoracic spine more specifically, is nicely rounded. The ribcage stays down and then stays pointing behind the ball, moving into downswing, down and behind. And then from there, the feel I want to present today is once we get into this delivery position, to actually take your right hand off the club and actually guide the ribcage around. So one interesting point I want to make here is you can see my shoulder line. This is the old reference in golf of the body getting open, or the upper body getting open, is staying relatively square or even a little close to the target. So that's because of how through this move here creates a nice amount of stretch across that lead shoulder. And that is something that we've seen in the 3D motion capture, that stretch across the lead shoulder be a really nice indicator of creating club head speed. So that's the move there from face on. So I'm going to transition, keeping the rib cage down, pointing behind, club coming from a good spot, and then just guide the rib cage around and open, and I get a really nice stretch across that lead side there. Okay, so one more time down the line. I have worked on this with players hitting shots, so I'll try and take you through one now. So key points from a good setup to a nice backswing, and then ribcage stays down, pointing behind, and I get down to about this position here, and I can take my right hand off and guide that ribcage around, increasing that stretch across the lead shoulder, making sure always the club is coming from a good spot and the face angle is good. And then once I've got that feel to here, you can then clip a few shots off a tee and slowly build up your speed. Speed doing these drills, getting open, is hugely important, because it actually, the more speed that everything's moving, the more stretch you're creating, and the more everything's going to allow you to get open at impact. Okay, so there's another drill that you can work on at home, work on away from it, work on getting that stretch. If you're struggling to, once you're in this position to actually get the rib cage to move and keep the club in the same spot, couple of areas to check. First one being just if you get tight across the chest, it's going to be really difficult to do that move. So just stretch off your chest before you do it. But then also lats as well, chest and lats. Couple of chest and lat stretches, then give it another go, and you might have more opportunity to successfully do it.